Hello everybody, this is a video request, and the doc wrote in again. You guys remember that doc? I'd like to think we have like the resident, I referred to like mafia doctor in the previous video, but it wouldn't be cool if we had like a Manister doctor, like he'd take cash and we just, you know, it'd all be on the hush-hush. Yeah, go to the doc. Hey, you look like you got messed up by the Alpha gang. Go to the doc, he'll patch you up. Kind of, I'm imagining Martin Scorsese, but I'm sure he's so high. Anyway, so Doc wrote in. Darren, I have another topic to discuss as you answer my last questions concerning executive MBAs for physicians. Again, losers we're dealing with here. I am currently in my mid-30s. I'm having significant difficulty in finding a woman I can trust for a long-term relationship. I'm interested in having children in the future. My previous relationships have fallen through the cracks for a number of reasons. Two recent examples. I just want to double check. You are interested in having children. Okay, two recent examples. One, recently was dating a nurse for 2 years. I moved into her apartment for approximately 1 year after my previous place got flooded. I made sure the laws in my state had no issues with cohabitation leading to common law marriage. Smart man. Before moving into her place, I decided to pay about 80% of the rent since the rent was already quite low compared to my previous place. You never give them an advantage. Never. Never. Because then they come to expect it, man. No, you're independent. The easiest sell. Oh no, I don't want to insult you. I want you to be an independent woman. I want to treat you as an equal. With her picking up 20%. We had a good time together, going to trips to Vegas, Cancun, etc. However, I never really trusted her. I broached the topic of prenup, which she deemed unromantic. I told her that since marriage is already a state-enforced contract, a prenup just adjusts the pre-existing contract to make sure that I can protect my assets. Of course she didn't listen. Of course she didn't like this idea. Of course she didn't. Of course not. Despite the first year going well before moving in with her, she started making wise-ass remarks to me about, why didn't you become a neurosurgeon? They make more money? Oh, fuck. What is she, a fucking nurse? Holy shit. Yeah, you got good spidey senses there, Doc. Or so-and-so actor is very good looking and cut. She's comparing you to fucking actors? Holy shit. Considering I'm 6 foot and 210 pounds, go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, she still tried to talk crap. I look at these shit tests. I took these as shit tests and countered her statements with similar comments. However, all these alpha techniques didn't appear to improve her loyalty to me. I eventually moved out due to her asking for more rent money and her disrespectful attitude. I made it quite clear to her that I would never tolerate disrespect to me. There you go. She cried and asked, how could you do this? You're a man. You shouldn't do that to me. Look at how, oh God, you so avoided a parasite. Look at how it's like, they're so disgusting. It's just so disgusting. And I know not all women are like this, but the number of women, it's unacceptably high, the number of women that are like, and then like you actually treat them like an equal and like holding the stick. I'm a woman. Give me special treatment. I told her I had no obligation to her as a traditional man since she wasn't acting like a traditional woman. There you go, give her an uppercut. That's all right. After breaking up, she sent me texts about how I was ugly, no good, except, yeah, the MBA surgeon, you loser. She never thought about how she broke her agreement with me considering rent monies and her disrespect. Okay, yeah, so you dodged a bullet there. 2, previous girlfriend was a physician and told me that her back was hurting after her training. She appeared to not want to work in the future if she could get me to marry her. Look at these female doctors that, like, you women blow a decade in college, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you don't become doctors? Fucking Christ. Reminds me of a friend of mine. She got her master's in biology and was a teacher for like a year and then got married and was the stay-at-home mom. Well, what the fuck? Not only what the fuck are you doing with your money, you're asking for the state to pay your fucking... Yeah, it's subsidized. Like, fucking Christ. She appeared to not want to work. I decided against this option. She was a strong, independent woman who wanted me to pay for her. She didn't want to be the traditional because she was a doctor, but expected me to pay as the man. I have also been able to have sex with a good variety of women recently. Yeah, I bet you have. However, none of them appear long-term potential. You know, even having sex with these women is almost worthless because it's not even an achievement since they have been around the block many times previously. And by gosh, Doc, I gotta warn you, I know this is unsolicited, but are you making sure, I mean, even if you're wrapping up, are you flushing it down the toilet? You're a doctor. If they know that you gotta look out for those gals that, oops, I forgot to take the pill. That's our previous discussion was about asset protection trust overseas. This is just as important, and a topic that you got to be really on your game. And I know you want to have kids, but maybe save it at a sperm bank or something, and then get a vasectomy. I mean, you're the doc, you know. But boy, that's a huge open flank on your side right there. So just to make sure, don't see the benefit. Don't see the benefit is just increasing my notch count, especially with STDs being abundant. Question: is a prenup enough to protect you? I don't believe women are loyal these days, regardless of how alpha you act. My concern is that she will still get alimony, community property, and child support. Is marriage even worth it unless you're marrying a woman richer than you? Well, two separate questions. One, it's not. We've seen there's instances where the prenup was thrown out. They go after duress. I remember reading about these, but your future wife who will divorce you will say that you made her sign it under duress, and then that it's an attempt to throw it out, and that sometimes has stuck, especially if you get judges that are frankly feminist or female and are biased. They don't care about law; they care about vengeance. They care about other women, not fellow human beings. So you do have to look, again, go talk to your lawyer. That's what little I do know. But they're certainly an added bit of protection, but they have been thrown out. I don't know what percent. Well, let's look that up, huh? Let's do a little research. Cappy can Google. I can do the Googs. Now look, that's probably a racist name for some group of people. No, that was Gooks. They called the Vietnamese guys Gooks. Someone's gonna go, okay. Percent of prenups, actual agreements failed. Why are there so a failure in prenup to specify earnings in separate column? Will your prenup, if you want to, you don't want marriage. Prenups aren't just for the wealthy anymore. Boy, these articles really go into if you want a prenup, you don't want marriage. It's like, fuck you. 50% divorce rate? Yeah, right. Anyway, nothing stood out, but do some research on that. But again, talk to a lawyer. This definitely want to, I cannot promise a prenup because it hasn't. Those things have not had a 100% track record. My concern is that she will get alimony. Is marriage even worth it unless you're marrying a woman richer than you? Yeah, marriage is worth it if it doesn't matter. You fall in love, you fall in love. It's whether you should even be getting married that's my biggest concern about marriage is none of the fucking state's business who I'm dating and who I'm in love with and who I'm living with. I see it's just added a risk getting married and getting a license. I know people that are like getting married now without the license. They just they go through their maybe between them and God or their particular religion, and they don't deal with the state. And then they have their lawyers draft the legalities like the living will and that stuff. So for all practical purposes, they are married minus the risk of government. But anyway, go talk to a divorce lawyer. You'll definitely want to do that. But I would not say, throw all women out, blah, blah, blah. What do you think about a surrogate or having a child out of wedlock versus marriage for having children? Here, Sandman did this, and if you look it up, Sandman has a great YouTube channel. Just look up Sandman, and there he is. He is going to have a surrogate child, or he's going to have a child without the wife. He's going to raise one. I think he's going to do it through sex. Like there's going to be a woman, obviously. But not like an egg. But what I'm afraid of is these women will come for you. If you want to have a child without a woman, you say, okay, so here's send the they'll still come after you. And again, you look, especially in the UK, I mean, here, it's just, you see these judges in courts just throwing the law out the window and sanity as well. Adopt maybe. Yeah, you could have a child out of wedlock. Let me reread this. What do you think about a surrogate or having a child out of wedlock versus marriage for having child? Okay, and here's where I disagree with Sam in a way. You really got to have a mom. The kids got to have a mom. They do. We get all pissed off because women have children without dads, and you see what happens to the kids. Well, they're going to be just as screwed up without their mom. Maybe different type of screwed up, but you need both. You need both the husband and the wife, the father and the mother, for your kid to do well. If you really love your kid, you're not going to just raise them by yourself. You're going to have a mother, and you're going to be a surgeon. So what are you going to do? Drop them off at fucking daycare? You know, that's not a toy that you got there. You need a mother. So it doesn't have to be married under the law of the government, but yeah, you do need a mom. Would you marry if you could find a woman that is younger, acts traditionally, and doesn't have many sexual partners? Of course. I don't see many of these women these days. Well, you're not, for obvious reasons. Furthermore, there's no guarantee they won't change their mind after marriage. Right, this is where they come Americanized. There's an element of, you can have a very young traditional girl from the ages of 17 to like 21, and there's like this extra, and every guy says the optimal range of age for women to get married is like 26 to 29. Well, there's also this previous category before they get into the real world and are so corrupted, it's like 17 to 21. And I'm not 17 because you want to go underage. I'm just saying they're still under their parents. They haven't gone to college or whatever else. But like foreign women that come over here, I dated a gal, she was from Russia, and she was traditional and everything, and but I was smart. I didn't fall in love. I was very smart. I was too experienced, and everything was going great, and then she slowly, I don't even say slowly, within 6 months became Americanized to the point that we were dating, everything was going great, and it was wonderful. To the point it was like, she's bailing on you, she's going to the loud boom chicka boom bars, and you know, and that will happen. And that's a risk, unless you find, and this is where maybe it's good to go to a church and find a traditional gal, not a churchianity gal, but a traditional, you know, it doesn't have to be Christian. It could be Muslim, Jew. Muslims are very traditional. They're, you know, well, some of them are, but they're certainly more traditional than the gals that, Garfunkel and Oates, fuck me in the ass for Jesus. Look that up. That's a good one. So, yeah, it's possible, but there's always that. There's no risk-free move. I'll tell you that right now. There's no risk-free move. You're going to have to go and try and find. So you have no rights after you get married to demand her to be traditional. No, you don't. She can divorce you at a whim anytime, take half your assets, house, etc. Absolutely. Essentially, she is the boss of the relationship after marriage. Yeah. She can be if she's a bitch. Yeah. I mean, there are good girls out there. You just got to go find it. Again, it's 1 in 100. Based on my dating, it's 1 in 100. I never married any of the three, so who knows what would have happened afterwards. I'm always concerned about independent women who decide to stop working after marriage. Well, yeah, they're called hypocrites when they say, I'm independent, but then I'm going to stop working after marriage. It's hypocritical. I've seen this many times with physicians in the past. I bet you have. Essentially, the guy picks up their debt, pays their bills, etc., but gets nothing in return. That's not independent. That's parasitic. That's parasitic. That's what those women are. Oh, Doc. Well, look, here's the deal. Your lawyer, you're going to want to have your divorce lawyer and your asset protection lawyer talk to each other because they can set it up that way. So not only would you get a prenup, that would be kind of a first-line defense, you would also have a trust. And this is idiot, you know, what little and I know about trust, why you talk to lawyers. But the trust would not even be you. It would be outside the realm or the claim of U.S. Grubbing money, grubbing attorneys, and ex-wives. So maybe that's your strategy you want to pursue, where the bulk of your savings goes overseas. You just keep whatever you need here. And then that way, at least that's out of the grasp. Even if the prenup fails, there's nothing to grab because that's a trust. It's a separate legal entity. So there's that. And here's what I would do, Doc. It's a simple thing, and I don't know how you'd hide it. I would lie. Well, here's up front. You don't tell girls what you do for a living. You do not. You do not say, I'm a physician. Say you're a nurse. Say you're a low-level nurse. So like when you have your white gown or whatever the fuck doctors wear. I'm just a nurse. Don't wear the stethoscope because that'll give them away. Just, I don't know, leave your doctor clothes at the office. Something. And you're an orderly. You're some guy who works a low-level position that only makes 50 grand, not even 40 grand a year. And let women know that. And then if they say, well, and that will flush out. It's like when I drove my 1989 Gutless Cutlass Supreme. No, I had a 78. I'm sorry, a 78. 85. It was an 85 gutless cutlass Supreme. And I was working in banking. I was making almost 90,000. I was, for a younger guy in his 20s, that was really good money. And I just kept that car. And you know what? You never have to worry about women. I mean, the gold diggers will pull themselves out. So get like a shitty car. I'll sell you one for a premium. I should go into business selling crappy cars to doctors. That's what I should do. Mark them up 200%. Hey, here's a shitty car. That's all bad. Bashed in the side door for you. Put a little rust on there for you, Doc. It's all taken care of. Anyway, buy a crappy car. Get a crappy apartment. Not crappy, near near where you work. Don't have fancy nice shit. Don't wear fancy nice clothes. I'm not saying you deny yourselves things, but especially when you're first dating girls, like at least 6 months. Keep up the charade, man. And the gold diggers will go away. They don't have time to be dicking around with that. And then, I don't know, say you've been thinking about going to grad school or med school or whatever, but I think if you do that and all of a sudden you start dating a gal you really like and you, deep down inside you really do think you can trust her, and on top of that you have a prenup and you have an offshore trust, again where your divorce and asset protection lawyer combine notes, then you can let the girl know the truth. Say, actually, you know what, I'm a doctor and I'm very minimalistic. You don't even tell her the full trap, Jerry. You don't tell her about the fucking trust. You don't tell her about that. I'm very minimalistic, although it's going to be hard if you're like fucking CEO of Abbott Northwestern. But if you make it look like you're poor, you make it look like you don't have any money, that's like a really good vaccination. Yeah. It's a pretty good vaccination against those gold diggers. And then you rely on the legal stuff as a secondary and tertiary defense against a gold digger that might get through that. But yeah, you date a girl for a long time, man, and you wait for the right one. And I hate to sound so controlling, but like, you don't want to be a controlling asshole. I didn't want to control the Russian girl and say, no, you can't go out with your girlfriends to the Boom Chicka Boom bar. I don't know how you protect her against like the gold digging hens that, well, you gotta go get his money. You were birthing his children. Fuck. So yeah, those are my ideas. Don't sell out on the idea of falling in love, being a wonderful gal, getting married, having kids, having a family. That's one of the most important things in life, and having a family is one of the most important things in life. But you got to do it right. And I think the cheap way, right up front, get rid of your fancy... Well, don't get rid of your fancy clothes, but if you're driving a fucking Mercedes, get rid of it, dude. I'll swap. You give me the Mercedes, I'll give you my Kia. 2008. And, just play it like that, and then don't let them know you're a doctor, and then in the entire time, number one, make sure the condom poke holes doesn't happen to you. Number two, go call a divorce lawyer. And three, have them talk to your asset protection lawyer. So that's what I would recommend. Anyway, hope that really helps and we protect your ass. Toodles.